We want to say hi to Ken Koski. He's the Director of Tourism for Journey Johnson County. Sir, how are you doing today?
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
You are more than welcome. Hey, Ken, welcome to the show. You come to us from just south of Indianapolis in Johnson County, also home of great places like Bargersville, Edinburgh, Franklin, Greenwood, and more. So tell us about Johnson County and the fine people that live and work down there.
Well, Johnson County, this is our first year of having a tourism bureau. So really, there's always been a lot of great things to do in Johnson County, but I think it's been the best kept secret. So we've got a great craft brew scene, winery, Mallow Run, that's excellent, not only for wine, but they have a concert series every summer.
He knows who he's talking to, doesn't he?
He has my attention.
Okay, I had you at wine and craft brew.
That's right.
Yep.
But what we're really known for is our events.
Mm-hmm.
So any weekend that you come down, there's always a festival or two and a lot of just great things happening. So we get a lot of people from Indianapolis, north of Indianapolis. And today I hope to tell you a little bit about some of the great things that you can do there.
Fantastic.
Well, and autumn is like the perfect time to go, like, take a little day trip, drive a little ways, go do an event, go do a festival, go drink some beer, and then, sober up and then go home. Like, I can't imagine a better time than fall. So I know that you all have a lot on your schedule, and I'm excited to talk about some of these events because my husband and I love little fall outings. Like, it's the best time of year to do that because it's not
really
sweltering hot. It's not it's just perfect weather. I mean, why not?
Absolutely. Fall is my favorite season. So I mentioned the winery. We also have Apple Works. You can go and get apples, but also they make every apple treat that you could ever imagine. Dumplings, pie, caramel apples.
Whoa.
Cider.
All the apple things.
Oh, yeah. And they have live music.
Do they have the
every
new
weekend.
Mac watch? No.
I'll have to check and get back to you on that one.
Sorry.
Geek joke.
Keep on going.
But there's also nature areas where you can walk. So the fall leaves are coming early this year. So get out by mid to late October. Get your fall walk in, fall drive. Southern Johnson County abuts Brown County. Mm-hmm. So if you have been going to Brown County for the leaves and you don't want to drive quite as far from Indy, just stop and hang out with us.
Or do both.
Or do both. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, do both.
So let's talk about some of the events and festivals that you have coming up here.
Yeah, so this weekend we have an Antique Fall Festival at Pump House Antiques. We also have at the Franklin Performing Arts Center the Hitmen. So this is a group of musicians that performed with Elton John, Carly Simon, just an array of artists. And what they do is they were musicians or backup singers, and they'll come and they'll perform all those favorites that you like, but they'll also tell great stories from behind the scenes.
Oh, very
cool. And you can imagine touring for 5, 10, 20 years with some of these artists.
They've got some dirt.
The stories kind of back up. So all the events that that I'll be talking about, you can find them at our website, journeyjohnsoncounty.com, and we've currently have over 100 events on there. So,
wow.
Always something to do.
Your team does a phenomenal job on social media. I know you've got a hashtag campaign going right now for hashtag JourneyJoco. Can you tell us more about that and how engaged you feel like your residents, the residents of Johnson County really are online?
Well, the funny thing about that is we just started that a few months ago, and it's really catching on. We posted on our website the top 10 selfie spots. So one of them is the Ben Franklin bench statue at Franklin College. Another is the world's largest rocking chair that sits outside. Yeah. So
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it.
So what we do is if you use the hashtag JourneyJoco, Joco, it aggregates to the main page of our website. So people will get a picture of themselves with a giant chair or at Art Craft Theater or anywhere, and they'll use that hashtag, and then it shows up, and it kind of tells the story of our destination so that we don't have to. We have hundreds of people out there enjoying their time and then sharing it with us.
See, that's part of, and obviously as practitioners of digital marketing, as we consult with our clients, part of the engagement has to be the consumer advocacy, the brand loyalist, for lack of a better description. And you have an entire community that is right there wanting to show their pride in Johnson County and living and working there. So you're giving them a platform to be able to really share. And how has that awareness spread and understanding that now Johnson County is really paying attention to everybody who loves that area of the state?
Well, absolutely. What you do for your clients is very important because you can have a great product, but if nobody knows about it, there's really no point in having it. So we have, like I said, great product, festivals, events, dining, bed and breakfast. It's a great place. And if we can engage people to post it on their social media and share it, then the 200, 500 people that know them will see it. They'll come experience it. They'll share it to their 400, 600, and it really spreads that way. So, it's things have changed, and if you don't promote yourself in the way that especially the millennials have come to expect, you're not going to get the visitors.
No, you are absolutely right. The entire millennial concept of being digital native, right, there's a little bit larger aperture of just understanding that there's an immersion process that's happening with all different age groups, and they're getting more and more acclimated, and their sea legs are starting to strengthen up inside of new media. And that's what you're doing, is you're actually reaching more demographic age brackets than just those millennials. And what's happening here is that counties all across the state should be taking your lead and understanding what they have to give back, what they should be giving back to everyone who is working there, who is living in their respective counties. So have you been able to provide any additional leadership or counsel or guidance to other counties here in the state?
Well, we're the new kids on the block. As I said, our tourism operation has only been really in full force since April.
Sure.
So what we did was we learned a lot actually from some of the other tourism agencies in Indiana, and we're kind of taking their lead and doing some of the best practices to make sure that Johnson County, south of Indy, is really on people's radar. But what we find is that we can take that and go to our partners. So some of the small restaurants, the mom and pop stores that are really good at providing food and shopping and what they do, they might not be media savvy or social media savvy. So as I make my rounds, I try to let them know, hey, use the hashtag. It'll appear on our website. Like our page on social media. Let's get the interaction and the conversation going. And from the standpoint of really engaging with people that visit our website, in addition to having the social media aggregating it on the website, we've also started the process of putting Yelp and TripAdvisor links with each listing. So what we find is the visitor, they trust what we say, but they trust what the public says even more.
Yep.
So you give them both, and it really tells the full story of your individual businesses and your destination as a whole.
Oh, that's fantastic. Speaking of a destination, in Whiteland, you've got Kelsey Farms. You've got the quintessential fall outing. Can you describe that fall outing? Because that one really took us aback.
Well, it's wonderful. If you haven't been to Kelsey Farms, they're open 4 weekends from late September to late October. So it's a fall tradition for many families. They come year after year. So you have, of course, the corn maze, where, should I admit that I always get lost in it? And
it's a big honking maze.
Okay, so it's not just me?
No.
Okay.
It's scary as well.
And then they have the straw bale mountains. So they get the giant, not just the little bales of straw, the giant ones, and stack them in a mountain. And the kids really love playing in that.
Yep.
And then they
Or small grown-ups.
I may have been seen there. I might have seen you there. And then they fill a barn with the dry corn grain, and the kids can play in it like a sandbox, but cleaner and nicer. And then they have, it's a working dairy farm, so they're known for their milkshakes. So if you go, you have to definitely enjoy that as well. But you can go for the day, or you can buy a season pass, because a lot of people, hey, every weekend in the fall, let's do the maze, bring some more of our friends and family. So
maybe we can find one of the relatives that we left there. And
I encourage you to go each week to find me. If I've been lost all week, you can get me out.
Please bring me some breadcrumbs, or at least an apple treat.
Just bring me an apple treat. I'll stay in there. That's
Would
fine.
you like to make your milkshake joke? He mentioned milkshakes.
No.
Are you sure?
I don't want to mention my milkshake brings all the
Well, you told me
Johnson County
Boys to the yard.
you told me before the show to bring that up. Now you're pretending like
I don't know what you're talking about, kid.
Oh, okay,
Move on. Wow. So really,
All the Johnson County boys to the yard.
Fantastic. Brittany,
Bring them.
what about B&Bs? Let's talk about some B&Bs there.
Yeah, from my standpoint, when I'm traveling, you can go one of two ways. The modern hotel with the pool and the workout center, which is great sometimes.
They
But
got bacon
also-
there. They got bacon there.
Yeah,
They're
do.
all right.
But I also like the B&B experience because, it's unique. The owners are on site, and they not only give you a unique experience while you're staying there and a great breakfast that's, that goes beyond just the usual buffet, but they also can tell you about the community. Go to these restaurants, go to these attractions, be sure to go to the downtown, ask for this guy, or if you're going to this restaurant, be sure to get that appetizer. So I think that you can really, if you're traveling, you can get a more authentic experience.
That's something I've
through the
never
B&B.
done as a bed
Really?
and breakfast. No, I know that's always. I've never been to a spa, and I've never been to a B&B.
JourneyJohnsonCounty.com. Check it out. You and the family need to get
Yeah.
away.
I might do that.
Those are awesome, and especially if you have kids, this is someplace where you can leave your kids at home and then go to the bed and breakfast, right?
Yeah, and we're lucky to have two great ones, the Ashley Drake Historic Inn.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great location, and it's got a very peaceful garden, and the owners of that also own Hoosier Cupboard. It's a ice cream and sweets place. So you can get a great night's sleep and also go down the street for some sweets. And then we've got the Flying Frog Bed and Breakfast, which is a really nice place. It's got a big front porch on the main level and the upper level, and a lot of times people just grab a bottle of wine and enjoy the porch and watch the world go by.
Can I push pause here and tell Paul Poteet to stop asking me about my milkshakes? I'm just going to say that. He just jumped in on the stream.
He
Stop
said,
it.
quote, let's hear more about Aaron's milkshakes.
He's a very bad man.
Well, I was going to tell you next about Mrs. Curl's ice cream shop,
Please,
and
yes.
what do they serve there?
Milkshakes.
Oh, you're killing me. Actually, Mrs. Curl's is fantastic, and it is an anchor, an edifice for Main Street, downtown Johnson County. That's awesome.
Yeah, and they've been named best soft serve or best ice cream in Indiana this year. So it's just a local institution, and actually they're moving to a bigger location where they can be open year round. So
Oh, wow,
you
very
Mrs.
cool.
Curl fans can
Really?
be excited about that.
Now, you don't have you been to Mrs. Curl? Do you know? Oh my. Okay, this is a little tiny walk up ice cream shop, right? And there are lines that literally go around the building on summer days. It's just fantastic, and I mean it's a place to go after your baseball games or after your Cub Scouts. I mean they're always
Or just on a random Tuesday.
or just on a random milkshake Tuesday. Absolutely.
Now I've noticed how hard Brittany works, and and what I'm noticing though is that maybe she works too much. She hasn't got out enough. A lot of the things that I'm suggesting, she hasn't had a chance. So,
Yep.
would a day off be?
Well,
possible?
I was
Can we
thinking,
talk about that after
I was
the show?
thinking about that. I was thinking also maybe possibly doing an excursion with Edge of Indy downtown, down in Johnson County, and going to some of these spaces and doing a little bit of live broadcast at these events.
And then
Well,
I'll
we'd love to
stay
have you.
at the B&B, and they can come home.
Now that's a plan.
So, Paul Poteet, not to give him any more accolades here, but he just informed us that we should be prepared for some on-again, off-again rain in the next 7 days. What activities and destinations are rainy day friendly there in Johnson County?
Well, we're home to some great shopping at Greenwood Park Mall. People come from
Good
really,
mall.
yeah,
Good
it's
mall.
got all the great stores. So, and just outside of our county, but is the Edinburgh Prime Outlets. So it's a discount mall.
Yeah.
Also, a good mall.
Yes, excellent. And then we're really known for the Art Craft Theater. So this is a theater from the 1920s. So remember when going to a movie was an awesome experience?
Yes. Star Wars.
Yes. So this recreates it. It's a great setting, and they don't just turn the projector on and show you the movie. There's a
Yeah.
lot of interaction. The staff does fun things.
Oh, cool.
If it's a kid's movie, sometimes they'll dress up in character or do interesting things like that. So if you've never been to the Art Craft, bring $5. That's
yeah.
all it is. Bring
Wow.
$5. Show up and enjoy
I did that interaction with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Wait a minute. That's a different type of interaction. Never mind. Move
No,
on.
it's the same general thing. So
Sorry, I had to get that in there.
Is that on the internet?
No, it's
No?
not.
Okay.
It has been expunged from all the annals of documentation. I kid you not. Ken is fantastic, and it's great to be able to talk to a leader, a director of tourism in a county that's surrounding ours. There's certainly some great other counties around that are doing the same thing, but we want to really showcase movers and shakers, and just be able to give some kudos to organizations that are really doing the good work to be able to showcase these local businesses, these local entrepreneurs, because they don't get enough exposure in the limelight. Even with the mainstream media inside of Indianapolis, there's a lot that just goes unstated, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I work in Johnson County, and I love all the restaurants that I've been experiencing and all the attractions. But I love to go to Indy, you know, one weekend, or go up north to Zionsville, and you know, I have some family there. But by the same token, we encourage people from you know, Indy's north suburbs and Indianapolis itself to come down, and you'll notice when you're taking the expressway that the traffic starts to thin out a little bit when you get out of Indy, and it's a really peaceful, relaxing time. And there's some great nature areas. If you go to our website, journeyjohnsoncounty.com, and click on outdoor recreation, you know, we've got Camp Atterbury. That was a lot of that land has been preserved as the Atterbury Fish and Wildlife Area. So, you know, you can go for a hike or just walk around and enjoy nature.
I've taken Cub Scouts down to Camp Atterbury, and I go shooting on that range all the time, and it is a fantastic range down there as well.
Yeah, so it's just a great experience. You know, we talked about the winery and the apple orchards and some of the things like that. It's really a different experience than you can get in the city. A little more spacious and you know, a little more relaxing, I think.
Fantastic. All right. Well, so you got to check out journeyjohnsoncounty.com, and you should also watch on all the socials, Fest, F-E-S-T, Country, I-N on Twitter, and Fest Country, I-N on Instagram, and check out Fest Country, F-E-S-T Country, I-N on Facebook. Any final thoughts for entrepreneurs and individuals in Johnson County? What should they be doing, or how can they best set themselves apart to be noticed in Johnson County?
Well, we just had an expert come in, and he said it's the little things that not only visitors but residents notice. So if you have a downtown business, invest in planters and put some flowers out there, or a table with a patio umbrella. Just something like that. People drive by, and they stop. They see that, and it's more inviting. And the same with customer service. We're working with our partners on customer service. So they are the front line, whether they're dealing with our visitors or the residents. And if you give them a positive experience, they'll come back time and time again. So it's just the little things that go a long way and make a big difference.
Fantastic. Very well said. So we're certainly intrigued about what to do down in Johnson County this year, or this fall. So we may make an excursion out there. So we got to arrange some schedules and figure out what we can do. Thank you for coming in and sharing with us. You certainly demonstrate a passion for the local businesses there, and keep up the good work, please.
And you do the same. And thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. All right.